Well, I don't know what happened. I was walking along and all of a sudden the camera quit recording. I really don't feel like I want to walk back all the way to but I'm going to. So if I hadn't said it before, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment about what you think we're doing. If you have any thoughts or idea. So I want to make it all the way back. I had walked all the way back in here, and eventually we want to make it back into here. I got this area here I have to open up yet. These 4 trees got to go. It'll level this out. She wants to keep these trees in the island, but they're in a dip. So I don't know if I fill in around them, if I make too big of a bowl and they end up drowning. Got to get rid of these 2. I say a couple back in here. Want to be able to have enough to be able to put our cabin back in here, and then still have room to be able to turn the vehicle around and stuff. Because a lot of the other equipment, the tractor and stuff, I'm probably going to keep out here more because I don't want to get everything back in here. So I'm going to get probably one of those metal portable or metal carports, or just a roof to put over everything to protect it. That way when I got to get rid of the snow and whatnot, I can I don't have to sit there and clean everything off, and it's semi-cleared off. Same thing, we'll probably have a carport back in there to park the vehicles under, so it gives them some protection. Well, yeah, we want to be back here so we get to look at this open field, and on the other side over there, we haven't yet to even explore that, and we've owned this for quite a few years. Been focused on everything in here and working on this trail here on and off in between properties. And but yeah, come out here and have a cup of coffee and walk around, and I can't wait to start exploring the rest of that. Back in there, there's another 60 acres back in there. This front here is 20. Oh yeah, that's where we want to end up, back in here. Know it's going to be a walk and a challenge in the wintertime. If we have to park the vehicle somewhere, or even to get to the tractor. And I'm sure when we get a snowstorm, there's snow, you know, talk to my friends up here and that, and sometimes once you start plowing, you never get a chance to really rest. To use the facilities and grab a couple cups of coffee, and you have to go right back out because before you know it, there's 6 more inches on the ground. The snow pusher I have, I'm going to have to get rid of that and I'm going to get a blower. The snow pusher is not going to be applicable for up here. I'm going to run out of room to put snow real quick. Like in the other videos, these trees here got to go so we can make the curve and not have to worry and have room, trailer and whatnot. But yeah, walking around, and every time I see something, I keep thinking of more and more trees, or how much more I want to open it. You know, what we're going to get done this fall, and get a trailer up here, and it's going to be up here up front more. And then springtime when the snow's gone, then we'll get it further in, and then later on in the year, hopefully we'll have our little cabin going, and that's the thought. If we have to live in a trailer for a while, we have other property where we stay in a trailer all winter long, right back and forth to home, so it's not a big deal. There's my bighorn. Stayed the whole winter up here. Battery was dead. Well, it wasn't dead. It just didn't have enough in it to start it. I hooked up the generator. I got a 2600 watt generator. 2600 watt generator. Put it on there for about a half hour. I already have a 1 amp charger hooked up to the battery. All my equipment that has a battery has a charger on it. A maintainer. And let it run for, I don't know, I think it was only about a half hour, and I gave it a try, and she's fired right up. Oh, These Moultrie edges, I'm really liking them. This is just the Moultrie edge. The one in the back there, when I rounded the corner, that was the 2, and then up front we have the 2 Pro. And they're very good cameras. This one here, they all have poor signal. This one here just doesn't want to connect a lot. It's just probably because of the tree I have it on. Battery's full, the solar panel's almost full. I just charged it a couple weeks ago. But now we're getting less and less sun. This one here just works flawlessly every time. But I have it aimed at the sheds to keep an eye on them. So it really doesn't catch any wildlife unless the bears or something walk right up to the shed. This one I just have it pointing this way just so if somebody sneaks up the drive I can hopefully catch them. And I've got another one looking the other way. But yeah, these cameras are really nice. And I found these covers on eBay. And I bought, because I have a bunch of cameras, so I bought several. And they cut me a nice deal on them, which was appreciative. And I got to do a review on them now. I've had them up for last fall. Yeah, this one had this on during the winter, and so does some of the other ones. And it does. It helps protect. It shades. I think it keeps the camera cooler. It's not beating right on the all day long. Especially with the rain. If I take a rainy picture, the lens usually isn't all wet and everything, so I like what it does with that. But yeah, these Moultrie cameras are really nice. Verizon, AT&T, they hook right up pretty quick. I just got the rechargeable battery pack. I got the 1600, the big one. Because having poor service, our other place where the service is great, or it says good on it, or medium, I have the lesser batteries, and they last almost a whole year before I have to go check them. And I don't put solar panels on them because they're easy enough to get to. I put the solar panels on these because sometimes, or in the winter months, I don't make it up here for 4 months, and at least I like the solar panel to kind of keep the battery charged, and they do a good job. I'm impressed. I'm sure there's some better cameras out there, but I'm happy with these Moultrie edges. And I've already got so many invested that I really don't feel like switching to something else. So I just keep up with these. But yeah, again, we opened this all up again, and we didn't have a lot of big trees. I said it before, we took the path of least resistance through here. We picked smaller trees to get rid of, but if it hadn't been for old Blue here, my LS, I'd still be struggling or paying somebody. And you get the rest of the material to finish up the drive here. I'd like to get that done this fall before winter comes. And then we're not leaving the trailer up here or the side-by-side. Side-by-side's coming home this winter. It's not staying cheap. My bride don't want it up here. And we can use it tooling around down there too till we bring it back up here. So no sense in having it stuck down there. And it's a shame that you have to have cameras to watch things. Yes, I love the fact that I'm catching wildlife, but I've also caught people pulling up into the drive and walking up in here a little bit, and I think they see the camera, because I've had people stop and they look at the camera and they stare at it, and it takes a couple pictures of them, or I download the video, and then they scratch their head and their butt and they turn around and walk off. So I'm sure it's kept somebody from coming in here and doing something or snooping around. I just don't want someone snooping around on our place, just like I wouldn't do that to somebody else. I wouldn't go snooping around on somebody's property. You just don't do that. And people, for some reason, just don't have the respect that they used to. There's always been people that'll trespass or do funky things. It just seems to be more. People just don't seem to care as much. Look at these beautiful pines. They are beautiful. Yep. And this whole area here is conifer, so we got pines everywhere. A little further back in and to the north, it turns us some hardwoods then. And we got a mix. There's some maples mixed in here and things too, but for the most part, it's all, I'd rather it just be pine. But I'm sure when it was cut 40, 50 years ago, some of the some of the leaf trees took over a little bit before the pines could get going. But the pines eventually choked them out, but they're still trying. We had a couple birch in there too. And there are a couple dying birch. She wants this guy here. It's a big one. But she wants this guy cut down because it's leaning and the roots are exposed down at the base. So she wants it to go. That's the other thing too. I want to make the driveway big enough because these are tall trees. I want to make things wide enough so if something goes through, I don't have to get 20 trees out of my way to be able to get out. If we need to go grocery shopping or get fuel or something because I wasn't smart enough to do that before whatever came, or just storms sneak up on you sometimes too. It's a beautiful day and all of a sudden they're calling for severe weather. So stuff happens. But yeah, we talked to somebody and I took some pictures of this tree and they said, yeah, it's, even though it's got leaves, the way that the bark is and how the roots are exposed and it's cracked at the bottom, you should get rid of it before, eventually something's going to take it down. So, and I got a couple other dead ones back in here. I want to get this turnaround open back up too. This was bad in here. This was just one bump and hole after another, and I did a lot of loader work and a lot of grading with the back blade to get this leveled out as best as I could. I don't want to tear much more up because where I did tear stuff up, I've got soft spots now. And then there's still this area here where it's hard, and I dig into it, and so I'd rather just get some material and put some gravel up in here. Or if anyone else has a thought, let me know. I've been watching Steve and Susie's homestead, and he's doing a great job with the solar. So he's got me on a path. After watching him and what he's done, he's got me on my path to what I want to do. But I'm going to have everything standalone. The trailer or the cabin is going to have its own. Our bathhouse, because we're going to have a separate bathhouse, and that's going to have its own heat and its own solar. And then I got a generator, so if we don't make enough solar, I can run the generator to charge the batteries. I don't care about hearing a generator run for a couple hours. It's not that big a deal to me. Some of these people want, they want the sun to shine 24 hours a day so they can have their internet and everything else. And that's the great thing. I'm doing this on my phone, but there's no connection. I have no cell service on Verizon whatsoever. AT&T, a little bit. If I want to get Verizon, I have to walk around, and then you're lucky you get one bar, and then you don't know how long it's going to last. At least at the AT&T, we usually have one steady. The AT&T site's not too far from here, but the Verizon site is over 20 miles away. So I think as the crow flies, the AT&T site might be only 9 miles as the crow flies. Oh, well, I'm going to relax for a little bit and grab a chair and just sit down and just enjoy myself. The bugs are almost non-existent. There's a couple mosquitoes. That's the great, usually after Labor Day, bugs start to go away, and every day they're less and less and less. So, but the miserable time is usually from Memorial to Labor Day is usually the miserable time for the bugs, the flies, and the black flies, the deer flies did weird thing this year. They came out and they lasted till almost the end of July, and then they disappeared for a few weeks, and boom, they were right back in force. So we had to deal with them for like a week and a half. They were awful again, and then so it's just weird. You walk around and there's nothing on you, and then all of a sudden, a few days later, it's like, where'd all these flies come from again? And they're just swarmed all around you and following you. But So one of the things about being up here, you got to put up with bugs for a couple months out of the year. You got to put up with snow for a couple months out of the year. But also, I don't know if you can hear, well, that's nothing but the wind. Low breeze. That's what I like. Just to hear a low breeze, oh, and a crow. No. All right, everyone, take care. Thanks for listening to me babble again today. I hope everyone's doing well and doing well with everything that's going on in the world. I'm trying not to let things bug me and just do my stuff, get my stuff. Just trying to worry about myself. Enough problems. All right, take care, everyone.